now on. And then Nick goes ahead and say hello.
Why, hello.
Hello.
Whoa.
So, to chat, I will say that Nick does not have a webcam, which is fine. We've come up with the next best thing. We have a little guy. Oh, also, by the way, when we were rolling that video, Ramen did donate 10. I want to shoot a huge thank you to Ramen.
Thanks, Ramen.
You can see his name up there, and we're going to put it on the tree. We got to do a tree update. So, let me ask. Oh, this is the first time I spoke with Nick just a little bit the other day.
I've never spoken with this man.
Oh yeah, I've also talked a lot over chat as well, getting in contact for both the podcast and the stream. So you've never... This is Christian.
Hi, Nick.
Very nice to meet you, Christian.
Good to meet you, too. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Good.
So yes, all donations will, and Anna, if you do not mind to keep your eye on this so we don't have to do a lot of work later.
Yep.
As donations come in, do we want to make it just $1 an entry?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that makes it easiest. Every $1 will count as an entry into a raffle for an original storyboard from Chowder. That will be sent to you, and you'll have that.
Nick, do you want to explain what a storyboard is for those who may not know?
That's true.
Basically, you get a rough draft of how the episode, whenever we're constructing the episode, it is a rough draft so we get an idea of how the episode flows and how the storyboard is to show us the action and, without animation, stuff like that. So you get a lovely panel that you can frame on your wall, and I can sign it if you want that, because some people don't want it to be signed. You'd be surprised.
We will. Do you want to include Ramen in this as well? Because Pocket Ghosty just donated 5, and I want to say a huge thank you to Pocket Ghosty if we want to write that down as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. I'm sure a lot of people will want to get their hands on that. So yes, $1.
Absolutely,
$1 gets you an entry, so $5 gets you 5.
Yeah,
great.
There you go.
Cool.
Your math is mathing.
Hey, 10 hours in, 9 hours in.
If I will,
yes.
Pocket Ghosty and Ramen already have storyboard panels for me.
I knew that they were your buddies, so I wasn't 1,000% sure. So we might.
Just keep that in mind.
We'll definitely weigh that when we come to whoever ends up winning. When we randomize it, we'll weigh that. But let's see. Here's my thing, Christian. This is unfair because I just don't tell you what I get up to in my personal life. I did my research.
Okay.
I've listened to multiple interviews this man has done recently.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you.
I'm so sorry.
You have been on the you've been on the circuit, my friend. You have been around.
Yeah, and the first episode that you did with the Vibes crew, really, that was good. What was that, 2-ish hours? I think that was a 2-ish.
I think 2.5. I think every podcast I've done with Vibes crew has been 2.5 hours.
It's a longer one, and at first we've for 2 years now had a 1-hour show format, and sometimes we struggle to fill that.
Yeah.
So I looked at that and I was like, are they gonna fill this? Is this just going to be interesting from beginning? And yeah, the conversation. It's because the Vibes crew they've got a couple of guys, and so there's always something to be said.
Love that.
You have a lot of input and a lot of. Is this the final Merlin?
The final Merlin. It's the final Merlin.
I have no idea, Merlin. Have you tallied up how much we spent today? Because he is using my card.
That's funny.
We have a joint bank account. We're fine. I'm looking at the bank account now. Purchase, World Central Kitchen, World Central Kitchen, World Central Kitchen. Oh my, it's every recent purchase on the screen. My screen is filled with donations.
I love that.
Hey, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's a good cause, so.
Oh yeah, great cause, great cause.
We are at 1,100, that's sick. Across the 1,100 mark.
Yeah.
What happens if we get to 15?
15 was, I think it was originally Tiger Balm, but I left that at home. Was 15 something else? Oh yeah, 15 was that. I'm still okay with that. Oh, we're closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
No, Merlin vetoed and said it has to be at least 2,000.
That's fine. We'll figure something out for 15. Anyway,
So I was listening to this Vibes Crew podcast, and on the first episode, I learned a couple things, and I wanted to talk about with the storyboard. So they would storyboard and get a rough idea for what the scene was going for. But I was interested to learn that this is one of the situations in which, absolutely, by the way, there's no doubt. But this was I think it's a more rare occasion that cartoons are animated after the voiceover work. That's not always the case. In fact, I think it is more often that the animation comes before the voiceover and you just have to dub over whatever you were given. But
that's very common in anime. That's very common in anime.
Okay.
Well, I mean, obviously, that's not when I say very common. That's how it's done. It's like in anime, like there's no common thing about it. That is just how it is done. But for a lot of the Western cartoon shows, at least back in the day, whenever I was doing it, that was sort of it was actually more of the norm to do the voice work before the animation.
That's brilliant. And it's very interesting as well, because I fully agree with that, and I hope that's still the way things are done. I'm not entirely sure, but
I don't know.
I think what that does is that means that depending on the delivery of the actor, I mean, if you put more energy to it, you put any emotion into it, you can then put that emotion into the animation, even if that wasn't part of the original scene in your head. When you make the storyboard, you have an idea, but the performance of the actor is really going to shape what how the characters move and what their eyes look like, and you know how big they're smiling, based on that performance. So I like when animation comes later.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it.
I like putting forward vocal performance.
Yeah.
Although I will say my favorite part, I think, of that entire episode, my favorite little anecdote was in particular about the shared love that you had with the creator of the show on Katamari.
Yes. That's why I always say, like, you know, I have most of the storyboard, so, you know, it's like, so the whole thing is like the whole thing I do is like, if I selling all my shit on eBay, so it's like, if you buy something from my eBay page, you know, you get like a little signed storyboard panel for free if you want. But the caveat to that is you can choose any episode that I have available, because there's like a few I don't have, except for Grubble Gum, because Grubble Gum is my favorite episode. Because me and Carl talked about CH Greenblatt, talked about Katamari Damacy, and then one day he just, I get a storyboard in, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is just a Katamari Damacy episode. It was incredible. So that one is very important to me.
Which I watched that show, like, I'm as a kid, I watched it like when it came out, and I enjoyed the episode, and it was great, and I loved it, but I didn't understand any of the references because I was unfamiliar with the game at the time. Are you familiar with the game? It's totally okay if not.
I have no clue.
It's a very unique video game.
Yeah?
It's a weird one, but it's a great one.
Explain.
I might let Nick.
Basically, you are the king of the cosmos. Goes around, I don't know if he's drunk or not, he's probably drunk, goes around and destroys all the stars in the solar system. So it is up to, he gives the job of his son, the prince, which is your name, is the prince, to gather up Earth objects by rolling around a ball that sticks to everything, and you just collect all these objects to make the biggest ball, or katamari, as you can to restore the solar system, and it is really weird and really amazing. The cutscenes alone are fucking fantastic.
I see how Grubblegum can mimic that idea there.
Yeah, you go
Absolutely.
around and you roll up. It's just an amalgamation of like everything. Imagine like a cute little like cityscape.
Yeah.
And you start this big, and you just like roll over some like newspapers on the ground.
Like,
and then
you start out by like rolling up ants.
Yeah,
and like little like dominoes, and you're so small, and you are so tiny.
So I've played a game like this,
and
I
then
don't think it was
eventually,
that, but this style,
like roll up the world, basically. Like,
that's so cool. Yeah, I've definitely played that style of game before, but I don't know if I've ever heard, what is it called? Katamari?
Katamari.
I
Damacy.
don't think I've ever played that specific one.
So I encountered that game a bit later in my life. Probably, I don't know, 14, 15, 15, 16. I encountered it later.
Yeah.
And I just never made the connection because at that point, that episode had left my head.
Sure.
But listening to not only the part of the podcast where Nick was describing this, but also detailing the fact that the soundtrack mimicked the soundtrack of the
Yes.
game. They weren't able to clear
yeah.
the rights for the actual song,
Yeah.
but they were able to
They're able to
honor
get
it.
close.
They were able to get
Yeah.
it pretty close.
That's so cool.
They're able to get very close.
I was at work and I immediately like pulled my phone back out of my
Yeah.
pocket and I was just like, hold on, what is this? What is the? And I like pulled up the song and I listened to it and it's brilliant. It's perfect.
That's so cool.
So we've got. Not only did we have Adriana coming into, you know what? Seth didn't do what I thought he was gonna do.
Nope, he just did an even number.
He
I love
brought it
that.
to the round even number. You know what? Yeah, it's time. This time we got to a round even number.
Absolutely. Let's keep it at around even number.
We don't have to do that.
Yes.
We don't want- Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna tell people what to do. You do whatever you want. But this is nice to look at. 11:13 right on the dot.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying. Anyway.
If we get to 1200, I'll do my Tosh as well.
No, don't. I don't want you to do that.
I really don't like doing my Tosh,
Yeah.
but also charity, right?
Sure, but no.
Dog, I was if we hit that goal, I was going to let you shave my head. The
I know.
Don't do it.
2000.
Don't
do
do
it.
it, man.
Right?
Man,
Like-
I'm currently growing my hair out, so I'm like, nah, man, don't do it.
I'm also currently growing my hair out. Literally every episode of season 2 was chronicling my journey to getting my hair back. Because just to kind of explain to you, Nick, I had this kind of hairstyle, but it was a bit longer. Like it was like a little shoulder length. It was about shoulder length.
It was.
And
Damn, nice.
right, I really enjoyed it. It was my favorite hairstyle I've ever had. And part of me went, I want a full head of long hair. I like the long hair,
Mhm.
but I want my whole head to have the long hair instead of the shaved sides that I have now. And I knew that growing out the sides while maintaining the length on the top was going to make me look downright damn goofy.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to start from square one. So unfortunately I did shave my head down and I got it all of the same length and started growing it out. And when it finally got to kind of be a little bit long and I was able to start like pulling my hair back and like putting it in a little top knot, I looked at it and I felt it on my head and I looked in the mirror and I said, I don't like this. Which sometimes is just the way it goes.
Yeah.
You put a lot of
Oh,
work
yeah.
into it and you're like, you know what, I don't like the outcome, and that's okay. So you know what?
I
shaved
will
the
say,
sides.
every single time I have shaved my head, I
Yeah.
always, because I don't think I look bad with a shaved head, and on my Instagram you can see I've done it a few times.
Yeah.
But every single time I've shaved my head, like about I'd say 7 minutes later, I go, "Yep, missed my long hair."
Yeah, and I did. I missed it so much. I remember I'd go in the shower and like before I shampooed, I went to take the like elastic out.
Yeah.
And I went to reach for the elastic and I just touched my head and I was like, oh.
Yep.
I miss my long hair a lot. I grow it out like every 2
the,
years.
The act of putting my hair up, like I can do it now again because I might let my hair grow up, but like the act of
Nice.
putting my hair up, like it's just not being able to do that because it's so common. Like you just do it without even thinking, and just
Yeah.
not being able. It's like do like, oh, there's nothing back there. Oh, I'm stupid.
You know what? I had something prepared that I was going to ask you when we eventually do our episode. We're very close to getting our studio.
Yes.
We're getting our studio in January, and then we'd welcome an actual proper episode with you in it.
That's perfect because I'm not doing nothing else till January.
Sweet!
Let's go.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing timing.
Oh, glorious. I was going to talk about something, and then Vibes Crew started hitting the same jokes. Unfortunately, I think Merlin, my husband, was the first one who mentioned, oh, you should make this joke. And I liked it. And within, I believe, the first, 10 minutes of that podcast episode, they made the Nick Jonas comparison, which Nick said until that point he had never heard.
Whoa.
So we were this close to
I've
being
never
the
heard, never ever heard that. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Things I got were like Nickelodeon and like
Fair.
A lot of like really inappropriate shit. And,
Of
Sure.
course.
You're
like
gonna get your fair
mean
share,
spirited things. You know.
Uh-oh.
But one of the things was if I go to our good friend IMDb and I look for our boy Chowder, if I look up Nick Jones, IMDb Nick Jonas. No. Orange is the New Black.
Happening to you now.
Ah!
Gray M&M.
I know who that is.
$87.
Is that Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did your mom give 86 or something?
No, 87 gets us to even 1,200, I believe.
Hey, I know Gray M&M.
Mm-hmm.
We should tell that story every so often on the show for new people.
We should.
That's a crazy story.
It is a crazy story.
So that gets to 1,200. I did just say I'd shave my tosh, and then you said no.
Yeah, no, you're not shaving the tosh.
Okay, well now you gotta do it though.
No, do not shave the tosh. I love it.
Wait, we
Looks
have
so
to know.
good.
We have to know if the intention of the donation from Jason was to reach that goal, because I'm not letting him do that and then not doing it.
I think it was just to get an even number.
Dog, I didn't have a mustache for like 19, 20 years.
I know, but it looks so good.
Thank you. I
You
appreciate
have a
that.
good tosh.
Do you say I have a good tosh, or are you saying that I have an ugly upper lip?
No, you have a good tosh.
I need you to tell me the truth. If I have an ugly upper lip, you need to tell me.
It looks weird when you shave it.
Why?
I don't know it. You look naked.
You met me without a mustache.
I know, but I didn't know what it was like.
Did I look weird?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
No, you just look naked now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like the tosh.
Jason, tell us if you meant if that's why you did it. But I was going through IMDb looking for interesting stuff. Let me do IMDb because
I will just say some of that shit is totally incorrect.
I'm interested to find
Is
out
it
if
really?
this is one of the things that is incorrect.
Ooh.
Okay. I think I know which one you're gonna say, but go ahead.
Okay, so first off, I will say that IMDb still has your official name as Nikki Jones.
Hate that.
I will say that in parentheses we've got a little 3. Do you happen to be the third?
Oh God, no, not at all.
Why
See,
is
this
there a
shit is so
3?
incorrect.
Why
I have
would
no
they do
clue. No,
I'm the
I-
third.
My
You are
father's
the
name is
third.
Dallas,
Hey,
and
close.
his father's name is.
Houston.
I should know that. John.
Austin.
You know my last name?
And my mother's grandfather's name is. What the fuck? Alan. Jesus. Can't remember my grandparents.
Do you know my dad's name?
Your dad's name is Jay.
Do you know my name?
James.
Do you know my grandpa's name?
James.
Do you know?
So you actually are a third.
He
Yeah,
is
I don't
a
know why
third.
IMDb says I'm a third.
I am a third. Do you know my great granddad's name?
John.
No.
Is it also James?
No.
Can't-
I would be the
he'd be the
fourth if that were the
I
case.
didn't know
He'd
if
be a
they
fourth.
like intentionally like if your grandpa's name was James, but it sure wasn't after his dad.
No.
Oh,
So he
damn.
was like, I'm the first of this James.
No, but regarding the counting thing, when my dad was born, my grandfather immediately adopted first and gave dad second, and never a day in his life went for senior and junior.
Good.
Especially because my middle name is Radford, and so is my dad's, and so is my grandpa. I don't know if the full name has to match to
I don't
be a
know.
first or second,
I don't
or
think
just
so.
the first and last.
Just first.
Well, we do middle as well in this family. So, my grandfather went by JR. He went by his first 2 initials. He went by JR. So he didn't want dad to be the son of JR, called Junior JR, and make that confusing.
Mm.
So my thing is, grandpa went by JR, dad went by J. If I followed that pattern of nicknames, my nickname would be silent. It would go from JR, drop the R, we're
Drop
at
the
J,
R, we're at J.
drop the J, the room would be silent, I'd be like, yeah? But
That's a joke.
my dad, so James, and then dad's James, grandpa's James, great-grandfather, Phlegm.
No wonder they
I'm
went with
not
James.
kidding.
Grandpa Flem? Did you say that for real?
Great-grandpa Phlegm?
Great Grandpa Flem.
F-L-E, not even P-H. We're talking about F-L-E-M Altman. Yeah. I was not worrying. I was wondering about the earliest credit that they have for you, Nick.
Oh boy, what did they have?
Somebody
Because
in
it's
the comments
incorrect.
said
I know it
Nick
is. Because
Jones
I know
or
what my
other
first
Nick
thing I
Jones
did
on
was.
IMDb. It's differentiate them?
I believe that the earliest
true. I
credit
don't think
that IMDb has for you is Bambi 2,
Good
The
job.
Great Prince of the Forest.
So that was my first, I would say, major role. But
You
it wasn't
did
the first
this?
thing wasn't the first thing I was paid for, nor was it the first thing I actually did that I actually did for exposure. Because the first thing I did for exposure was a radio play for like local Houston radio or something like that.
Love that.
So that's
and
awesome.
I did commercials and got paid before Bambi 2.
I saw
but
your
Bambi
post
2
about
was
the
my
music video you did.
Oh my god, yeah. Freaking I was talking with a friend of mine, and she was talking about cause she was into like wrestling and stuff, and she was like Chris Jericho, and she knows I'm into metal, and she was like, "Do you ever listen to Fozzy?" And I go, I don't listen to them, but I believe I was in a music video with theirs.
That's insane. That's so funny.
It's like it unlocked a memory.
Right.
Oh man, but yeah. So Bambi 2 was my first big credit, but I did commercials, and again I did that radio play, which I didn't get paid for the radio play, but I got paid for the couple commercials I did before then. So it wasn't the first thing I did per se, but as far as IMDb, I guess because IMDb doesn't track commercials and shit, or at least not usually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was the first proper credit, I guess. But yes, I was Flower in Bambi 2. I auditioned as Thumper and got 4 callbacks, and I guess they felt bad for me because they cast Thumper as someone else and just gave me Flower instead.
Oh, you would have been a great Thumper. Mistake.
Hell yeah, I would
Right?
have been. I know. I believe I would have been because I got freaking 4 callbacks.
Jeez.
So
That's a
apparently
lot
they
of
thought
callbacks.
I was good too. And then and they just had me it was weird because when I auditioned, when they told me that you don't get Thumper, but we want you to audition as Flower, I
Mhm.
basically just I recall getting they just which this never happens ever, but they had one. I guess they just really wanted me to be in the film to some degree because they enjoyed my Thumper audition so much. So when I auditioned as Flower, after the audition was done, they just hired me. They're just like, yeah, you got
On the
it.
spot?
That's
Yeah,
insane.
they're just like,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
They're like, yeah, basically it was just to make sure that they that they enjoyed what I was doing as Thumper, and I was like 6 or 7 at this point. I was still super duper young, so it was it was pretty crazy. But they're like, yeah, that'll do. You got it. It's like perfect. And then the next time I recorded for it, I was just recording it for the movie.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is so crazy.
I can't believe that was one of the things. When you started saying that there are things on IMDb that are wrong, I kind of expected that to be one. That's insane that your first credit was in Bambi 2. But you're saying, oh, never mind. I followed the logic and found it. I will say this, if you didn't know, is it the pilot of Gumball?
Yes, yes, I did the pilot of Gumball. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which you can still find on the internet, and it is weird.
Yeah?
A lot of Gumball is weird, but I don't know if I've ever seen the pilot.
I don't think it was ever actually aired.
Oh, really?
But then they released it. They released it on either a DVD or a Blu-ray or something later on, and now you can easily find it on the internet. But as far as actual proper airing on TV, I don't think it ever was because the pilot was made. We recorded the pilot years before that show actually got picked up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the trivia on the IMDb page for it says that this short came out approximately 3 years before the Gumball series officially debuted.
Yep.
Which is insane.
That is wild.
And the only other piece of trivia is that this is the first Cartoon Network pilot to have a 2:35:1 aspect ratio. How interesting.
Interesting.
I did not know that myself. I guess just to check my IMDb more often.
Right? I have an IMDb and I have, for some reason, 2 credits for the same film, the same role. Don't know why. Also, I hate that you have to have an IMDb Pro account to change anything.
What role?
Yeah, that's.
I think it was the second
so
one.
that was one of those
Yeah.
problems too, because it's
The drunkard one?
Yeah.
We can remove one of them.
Oh, if you want to remove one of those credit, the person that gave me the IMDb credit is also our producer. So yeah, if you want to remove one of them, that'd be great.
I can remove both, but
No, just remove one. I would like that still to be up there.
You've not seen the film.
I know. I need to see the film. I want to see the film. I want to see it so bad. Why are you keeping it a secret?
I got you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
So we do have some questions from chat. Who's the first one from?
I can tell you who they're from. I didn't know if he was classier than we were and didn't want to answer them. I think they're from his own friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's go for it. What am I friends
Ramen
tormenting me
is-
with this
Ramen's
time?
number one.
Does he get?
Okay. So
Oh my god! Fuck off, Ramen. Fuck off.
Ramen has a.
How did I
Ramen has
know
a-
you were gonna ask that in chat?
So he asked it. So Nick, he asked this question.
What's the question?
Yeah, you ask me every day too.
Hey, but isn't that a supportive friendship? Wake up in the morning, get a text. Hey, brother.
Checking up on me.
You
Hey,
getting
man, you
pie?
still getting in it? But I go, yeah, thank you, Ramen. I appreciate that, brother.
Thank you, Ramen. You know what? I'm looking at the donation from Ramen here. I will thank Ramen for, I believe, am I wrong? The second donation from Ramen?
Stop donating,
Two
Ramen.
boys donated
You're not
50.
getting another storyboard panel, you son of a bitch.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not 1,000% sure Jason realizes.
That he is now 87 entries for the storyboard for Chowder.
I know.
He might actually, because he loves Chowder. He loves.
Oh
my
I
dad.
know.
man! Oh,
You just-
Oh my gosh! That is a very, very, very good point.
So Jason is Christian's dad.
My father.
And just on the last episode that came out last Wednesday, you gave him the world's best voice and also mentioned that, do you remember this? That he would watch the show with you all when you had it on.
Oh my gosh!
If you
yeah.
were watching it, he'd walk into the room and your exact voice for him was like, he'd come into the room and go, y'all watching Chowder?
Y'all watching Chowder?
And then you immediately
Oh
said,
my god, that's
he
awesome.
does not sound like
My
that.
father has never talked like that in his entire life. But he would always come down and be like, "You guys watching Chowder?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're watching Chowder." He's like, "Oh, sweet." He'd sit down and watch Chowder with us. He loved it.
It was just a good show.
We still quote it around the house all the time.
Oh yeah, first off,
I love that
I
show.
quote it all the
Well,
time.
man.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I'm telling you, man. Listen, Vibes Crew told you. We will tell you. I'm not sure what strict number of people have to tell you. This show stuck with people, and
Big
I
time.
don't know exactly.
It's so crazy because
what
I'm just
separated
now
it.
I'm experiencing that like you know I kind of sort of came out from the shadows about a
Yeah.
year ago, and now I'm just now experiencing the fact that people actually gave a shit about the show, because when you're growing up and stuff, you don't really especially like back in the day, like it was before Twitter and all that stuff, and I don't even use Twitter anyway. Like you just you just don't you just don't feel like people care about it. Like you can
Yeah.
hear the fact that the ratings are great and all this stuff. You can see all that stuff. You can see
Mhm.
but like you know, until later on, you just don't really.
Yeah.
You were just going to
it's
work.
it's been a really weird experience for the past year. I'd say that much, because it's
I
like,
bet.
holy shit.
Yeah. It was literally an integral part of our household. Like,
It was like, I want to put it on like, unabashedly top 3 Cartoon Network shows that like were my childhood.
Me too.
Adventure
thank
Time,
you, man.
Chowder. I don't know if Flapjack makes the list. You think Flapjack?
Flapjack makes my
It was
list.
good.
But that's because Adventure
Great
Time
show.
isn't on my list.
No, that's fair.
I
That's
just
fair.
never got into it. I tried so many times. I just couldn't get into it.
Weird
but
show
sh-
to get into.
Yeah.
They added more lore as it went on, and it was just so confusing by the end.
Yeah.
At a
Chowder.
certain point, you just couldn't catch up.
Chowder was my number 1, and then it went Flapjack, and then I'm trying to think of a third.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, I know that what I don't want to do is rehash
Regular show.
all of regular show.
Regular show's a banger.
I don't want to rehash literally everything that they went over in the podcast episode I
Right.
keep describing. I will say everyone should go listen to it. I think the Vibes Crew did an amazing job with that interview and discussion.
Which I guess since I always don't know how we're doing things sometimes, but Ramen mentioned it in the chat, which I can say now that I actually am officially a part of Vibes Crew now.
Let's
so
go!
So I will actually be on there all the time now.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. And it's a good fit. It's a great fit. So I don't want to rehash everything that was said, but I will say that you would be infuriated to learn why not only Chowder ended, but a couple other great shows
Oh yeah. Oh,
Network
yeah.
problems or cast problems?
Network problems.
Of
And I'm
course it was.
talking
Definitely
big,
network problems. It
Big
was,
network problems. The long
It
and
was the
short of it.
whole. Yeah, you go ahead. You can
The
explain.
long and short of it is, imagine that your show is put on hiatus, it's put on a hold, and literally by the time you are being told that your show's being canceled to make way for another program, the news that that program was also getting canceled was getting released.
What?
Remember how a lot of really good shows went away because Cartoon Network said, well, fuck cartoons. We're going to do a lot of live
Yep.
action now.
Yeah.
We're going to do Destroy, Build,
Yep.
Destroy. We're going to do Dude, What Would Happen? And then those things lasted like a season, and then
It sucked that it
all
wasn't-
the kids were like, hey, this isn't animated. What the hell's going on? Where are my
This
cartoons?
is the
There's
antithesis.
one channel on the TV that just does cartoons. And I don't have that channel anymore.
And that sucks.
Their world got destroyed.
If I wanted live action
Built,
shit,
destroyed.
I'd go to Disney Channel or Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I go here for my cartoons.
Yep.
You dickhead.
And so
It was pretty rough.
That's awful.
Yeah, so Chowder was put on hiatus. They brought in the live action shows. The live action shows were not performing well, and they were going to get canceled. And it was at that point in the timeline that the Chowder cast learned that the hiatus was permanent. That's infuriating.
We had 6 episodes that were greenlit.
Yeah.
That were just greenlit for about, I want to say around 2 years, and then it just we just got like it's done, canceled.
That's insane. Who gave the second question?
Me.
The second one was.
I believe that was Seth. No,
No,
Seth's the last one.
Seth's the last one.
So that's Ghosty.
Pocket Ghosty, yep, for sure.
Okay, so Ghosty also has a question, Nick.
Uh-huh.
Quite similar to question 1 in a sense, which is
Yep.
to just say, is he single?
She knows I am. Just my friends make fun of me. This is so cool. I love it. Yep. Yeah.
Y'all heard it here.
I love my friends, I tell you what.
But they're pretty great for that.
Yeah, no,
They're
absolutely.
They're pretty great for like egging you on.
Yeah.
Friends, like a good friend.
I gotta
Love
stop
good-
telling them when I'm doing shit, I tell you.
I love a good set of ball busting friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a real camaraderie to it.
Yeah, there is a lot of camaraderie to ball busting friends.
Yeah. The last one is from our editor, which, by the way, very quickly. So, Nick, you are currently talking to us in Discord.
Yes, I am.
You're also in our server.
Yes,
After
I
I say this, there's not going to be a lot of time. Because if Seth's also watching, he can fix this very quickly.
Oh boy.
But if you quickly jump into our server and try to find any message sent by Welcome to Chili 619, I need you to look at his profile picture as fast as possible.
What is it?
Well,
Because for a few years now, it has been
what's his name? What's his name?
Welcome to Chili's 619.
Welcome to Chili 619. Oh my god.
It's like, and this has been his profile picture
Oh
in
my
Discord
god, that fucking picture.
for
Holy
years. It has been this for years.
shit. That is incredible.
I don't even know if I've ever even noticed
That
it.
is incredible. That's an awesome picture, though.
He has found it
that's-
and he's
I
loving
think
it.
that's from the I forget which that's from something. I've seen that before. It's amazing. I love it. That's great.
It's a really good picture. And I was so worried that, like, the day you joined the server, he
That's
was
right.
going to change it. And to just let people at home know, if I had to describe the... Do you have it pulled up?
It's just I can't get to the big one.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't want to make it big.
It is
I've got it.
absolutely ripped Chowder.
Jacked, dude.
Just jacked Chowder on the back
Getting
of
there
a
myself,
dragon.
I tell you what.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? I ever tell you, you and Chowder kind of look alike. Are we holding? Do we got it up to the
Yeah,
camera?
I do.
We have jacked Chowder and Panini on the back of a dragon. It looks like, and
Yeah,
it's
that's right. I
just
think
like
that's from the Fire Breathers episode.
it's so good. And I was so scared that the second you joined the server, he was going to change it. because I think we talked about it back when I messaged you. First off, do you realize how long ago I originally messaged?
I was gonna say, I think you originally messaged me. I think it's over a year now.
Are you
I
serious?
don't think it's over a year. I think we're close. Like, I think it was like
I think
April,
okay, we're
like
definitely
March,
getting
April.
close then.
Yeah, it was like I believe
Yeah.
it was like March, April of this year.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
And then we
We've
had a
been going
lot of
back and
studio
forth for
issues.
a while.
We had a lot of studio issues,
Yeah, we did.
and we don't want to have you on while we're like in our basement.
Yeah.
So when we get in the studio in January, timing works perfectly to make that happen. And I'll message you later about it. But when I originally was chatting with you about that, I told the team, and I think it even got brought up, and Seth was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to like change my profile picture in Discord or something." It happens.
That's so funny.
Oh my
He said in chat,
God.
It will forever be his profile picture.
It will. Seth has doubled it
Well, there
down
you
in
go.
chat. It'll forever be his profile picture.
Love that.
He asks. The reason I brought any of that up is because Seth asked, "Does his thang be thangin'?" Your thang be thangin'?
Do your thing be thing?
What are these questions?
I know, right? Like I have a question that that has plagued me since the show was airing.
Okay.
And it's going to require some improvisational skills from Nick to answer.
Everything's just gotta be so sexual. But yeah, my thing be thing, you know how it is.
His thang be thangin'. We do.
Yes, sir.
Thing,
Yes,
you know
sir.
how it is.
We
My
know.
thing be thing. Come on.
We know how it is. Having gotten through the, and if any more appear, please feel free to.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so my question will require a little bit of improvisation from Nick because unfortunately it's not a question with a solid answer. It's not a yes, no. It's
Okay.
not a little trivia thing. It's something happened in the show. And it was a really funny bit. And I'm going to have to ask you to expand because the bit was as Chowder constantly was, it was breaking the fourth wall.
Yes, love
And
it.
I think that's, you know what? I think that might be one of the reasons it stuck out so much is because it broke a lot of formats.
Yes.
It really threw a lot of the, I don't know, the like strict professionalism of the cartoon world.
Yeah.
It broke the fourth wall all the time. Characters would look at the screen, talk to people. I loved the bit where Chowder was wiping something off the screen and he's like, "What about that one?" And
Yeah.
he points at the Cartoon Network
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
just a solid joke.
I
and-
mean, even like the schnitzel transitions of him like cleaning the screen off by walking
Yes!
off the screen and
I
like,
literally
like,
was thinking
flipping
about
the
that.
page and shit.
Yeah, I loved that
Right?
shit. Like
The
that
tr-
was in my head as you were talking about that. That's
the
so funny.
transitions were a huge part of why I liked the show.
Oh, it was so cool.
Oh, fade to black? Oh, that's
Uh-uh.
for the week.
no,
no.
we're gonna.
Schnitzel is going to roll up the screen. Oh yeah, food would stack.
Food would stack up.
All of the live action.
Yep.
That's a whole department.
All the stop motion stuff was so cool. I love
Yeah.
that stuff. All the actual like real, those were real props and like they had them in the end like
Get
upstairs
outta
was
here.
the animation studios, and every now and then I would like whenever I could I'd sneak up to animation because first of all they're all really kind and second of all they had all the like live action props and like display cases and stuff. So whenever I could I'd find a reason to get up and go hang out in the animation department.
That's awesome.
That is absolutely awesome. The bit that I'm referring to breaks the format of particularly cutting away and then when you come back, like offhandedly mentioning, I'll just describe the scene. I really appreciate this. There was an episode where pies were being baked.
Okay.
And they were being left on a windowsill to cool. And just outside of the kitchen, I remember a ladder going up to the sky. And the entire crew climbed the ladder. And we had a transition. And the transition brought us not to where the ladder went, but instead to later in the day, when the crew was coming back down the ladder. And I believe Mung's line was very close to, "Well, Chowder, what a crazy 15-minute adventure that was. We'll never talk about it again."
Yep.
And then the rest of the episode went on, just as normal. The pie was
Oh,
stolen.
I do remember this.
The pie was stolen, shenanigans ensued. But that particular bit of, "Oh, look, a ladder," climbs it, immediately transitions to when it's at, because they needed the pie to cool.
Right.
What do they do while the
Yep.
pie is cooling? So they had this little 30-second bit where they just said like, oh, what a nice little 15-minute adventure, which is the length of a episode, I believe.
Yeah.
That's what they said, like 10-minute, whatever.
Sure.
So it's like, oh, what a crazy 10-minute adventure that we'll never talk about again. Anywho, where's the pie? And they go on with the episode.
God, that's great.
My question that has plagued me since I was like 9 years old is what was at the top of the ladder?
Oh, fuck if I know. Like,
No!
how good is that? Like, who knows? That's just the joke, right? It's like the same thing with the whole, I get asked a lot about the, I think it's the Seeing Being episodes. We're all waiting by the thing, and, like, Schnitzel tells a dirty joke, and it's like, that's a little too... It's like, and the Chowder's like, but how is the thing with the... Everyone always asks, what was the joke he told? It's like, we don't know. That's the joke.
Yeah, I believe...
We don't know.
There are theories about it.
Yeah?
Yeah, have you ever seen like the we're pretty sure it was this joke?
No, you go ahead and pull that up.
Let me try to pull it up.
I'll build off this and say that I believe there was one, maybe 2 episodes where Schnitzel actually got like English voice lines.
He would occasionally speak in like very few words, and also very, very rarely in the script and storyboard, they would actually tell us what he was supposed to be saying, but it was just to get the like right inflection of the Radas, because it's like we wanted the Radas to sound like this, and like to get the understanding. But it's very, very rare that we'd ever actually, get to know what the word for word what he's saying. You just like the idea behind Schnitzel is you can't understand him, but you feel what he's saying.
Yeah,
like you understand how he feels.
You know what? Until I like got a job and like started working like a regular 9 to 5, I don't think I did understand Schnitzel. But now, I think it's a spiritual connection me and that rock monster have. I get it. I will say, some of the trivia that we went over in a very early episode, like season 1 episode, I'm not sure that... No, Seth did have a visual, so Seth's camera was on. This was the episode that you weren't in, Christian. And
that's correct.
To this day, is that the only episode you've ever missed?
Yes, it's the only one I've ever missed.
Well, our editor, who was the one that asked, does that thing be thangin'? He does. He was the co-host for that episode, and we were talking... That episode was about cartoons. So we talked about Adventure Time, we talked about Chowder, we talked about Flapjack, trivia for all of these shows, and then lesser-known shows like Code Lyoko. What was the Jalen Showdown?
I love that shit.
Oh yeah, like really good
love
niche.
That shit.
Those cartoons that like almost were just a fleeting memory, and you have to be like, was that a show? Yeah, that was a show. I loved that show.
When I think of cartoons that are fleeting memories, the one I always think of is Robot Jones. Everyone look up at some point in their time, look up Robot Jones, because that is a cartoon that is like, I remember absolutely nothing about that cartoon, but I remember the character. And that is it.
That's awesome. I love that. When going over trivia for Chowder, we found this little bit of trivia, which I think you went over with the Vibes crew, which is there is a documented translation for Schnitzel's line in the title song.
Yes, I even made a TikTok about it.
No way.
Yeah, I made it. Yeah, there. And I can't remember the line off the top of my head, but the story goes, is what happened is one day after recording a episode, they brought in a monitor and they're like, hey, we got the theme song down. So, we actually did record it to, the actual... This was one of the few times we did record to animation. So we got the 3 beeps and everything, and it was all fun. But we were all doing our lines. We're all singing our part of the theme song. And John DiMaggio sang the English lines for like 2 or 3 takes. And we all just kind of sort of looked around at each other. And we're like, this feels weird. This doesn't feel right. Because while, yes, occasionally Schnitzel will speak English, very rarely, it's never like a whole phrase. It's never like a whole sentence. It's either like a few words here and there or whatever. So hearing him say a whole ass sentence in Schnitzel's voice, but in English, we're all like, this shouldn't be this way. And so it was like a collective decision. We're all like, yeah, he should really just be Rada English. This is weird.
I love that.
But I believe that the line did make it into closed caption services. I believe.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Okay. I had a couple of people tell me that on that TikTok I made. I had a couple people tell me that it was closed captioned.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay. His voice line in the title song. You share a big piece with everyone.
Aww.
So
Share a
it's-
big piece with everyone. That's right. That's what it is.
You take the moon, you take the sun, you take everything that seems like fun, you stir it all up, and then you're done. And in place of radas, you share a big piece with everyone.
Aww.
And that is that's such
beautiful.
a lovely line.
Yeah.
It's almost a disservice that it does have to.
And
be
then all you
rotted
hear is
through.
rada.
But it's a beautiful line, and it's quite cute. So I love that. I'm just remembering that, like, in terms of like my top 3 shows, that John DiMaggio was like a pretty big part of 2 of them at the
Really?
very least. Well, yeah, because he also played Jake the dog.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Wow.
talented man.
We got more questions for you, Nick, from the audience.
We do have more chat questions. Do we know?
boy.
Did you write names next to who asked these ones?
Oh, that one's from Seth.
Okay.
And then there's one new one.
Does Nick get put? I'm sorry, that's an old one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, okay, so we do have one from Seth. What is your favorite food from the show? Seth would what?
He
Seth
was
would
saying, so
Seth would bury a what?
a Bowie knife.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
A Bowie knife in Jim's chest to try one burple nurple. Burple nurples.
Man, what would be my favorite? Man,
Dude,
We got
nurples
Purple
look
Nurple,
so
we got
good.
Thrice Cream, we got Grubble Gum.
God,
There's
thrice
so
cream
much.
looked so good. I wanted it so bad.
I mean, it's just ice cream, and I love ice cream, so that's honestly a pretty big contender already.
right?
You know what's crazy to me? I have a food that I really dislike in real life
Okay.
that looked really good in the show.
Ah.
And it's stupid because like it wasn't even a prepared dish. It was an accessory. So there's the episode where Chowder has to like be a little servant boy to this
Sure.
like prick balloon.
Yeah.
Mr. Fogu?
Mr.
Mr. Fugu.
Fugu, yeah.
Fugu.
It's Fugu.
And he brings him to a hat shop where they custom fit you for a rack of ribs hat.
Mm.
Oh my god. I know, yes. And if I'm not
shit
mistaken,
looks
isn't
so good.
isn't the Mario Brothers the people making the rack of ribs too? Because the
Stop.
Mario Brothers make several cameo appearances in the show because
They do.
Carl
What?
loves Mario.
Do I remember this? I know.
If you go back and watch that scene, I'm pretty sure it's the Mario Brothers making the rack of ribs for us.
We're
But
gonna
I
have
actually
to-
think I agree with you. I think
Uh,
that might be my favorite.
That is a
Merlin
good
and I
one.
will have to rewatch the episode, rewatch the series because
about
we
to say,
just
yeah.
rewatched all of it in like 2020.
So did me and my sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah, we went through the
quarantine was a good time to rewatch some good shit.
whole thing. It
Well,
sure was.
People always find this funny, but in 2021 was the first time I actually sat down and watched it all the way through myself.
No way.
Yep.
I'm dead serious.
Wow. What did you think of it?
It's alright.
What do you think of the
It's
entire
It's all,
series?
it's all right. What do you mean it's all right?
I mean, it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good.
Wow.
You ever watch an episode of your podcast? How is it? How funny are you?
I
Praise
I
yourself.
have
I do laugh.
I have not watched the entire episode of a podcast that I've been on.
Oh, that's
Really?
totally
I
fair.
skip-
That's valid.
I skip my parts.
If we had a bigger team, I think I'd stop. Because partially the reason that I listen to episodes is just to like catch any editing things that might have gone through.
Yeah.
To you listen to the show because you are the one that provides our TikTok editor with the timestamps so that he can make our highlights.
Yeah, it is my job to go through the episodes. I have to watch them.
Yeah, and I do it for like
That's that's totally.
If we had a
understandable.
bigger
That's
team
different.
of people that would like cover those jobs, I might not listen to our show.
Yeah. Like,
I'm so.
I'm one of those people, and I know there are plenty of people out there that have no problem with it, but I'm one of those people that I just cannot listen to myself. The only thing, and I mean the only thing that I actually enjoy myself, enjoy hearing myself on, I did a vocal feature for a Netherwalker song, which is like a really like extreme like deathcore band. I did a vocal
Sick.
feature, and that's the only thing that I enjoy listening to of mine that I enjoy listening to.
So I'm not incredibly well versed in this world of music, but I love to be. Listen. I love music. You cannot put a genre on that I will tell you to take off. I simply
It's true, actually. A lot of people
Sure.
bullshit when they say that. No, he's being very for real.
Every genre has bad songs,
Sure.
and I can tell when a song is bad. But like, I I love all music. So I do listen to metal sometimes, and I just want to know. Recently, someone like introduced a band to me, and I want to know if do you know the band Spite?
Oh my god, I don't listen to them too much, but yeah, I'm very familiar with Spite. That's insane. You listen to them?
Yeah, like someone just recently, because I talked about the fact that I will listen to metal, and I meant to open Spotify and open TikTok.
Same thing.
But I was at work and talking with a coworker about how I will listen to like all music, and someone came by on from another and reconnected.
Yep.
All we needed, little hiccup, but it's
Woo!
fine.
We're here still.
These things fix themselves, which is great because gosh, if we had to do it.
No, we couldn't.
So, she asked, "Well, do you like ever listen to metal?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Have you ever heard this band?" I said, "Absolutely not,
But I will.
but I will." And I listened to one of their more recent albums, and I put like one of their like the first track on one of the playlists that I play most often. I might just have to. Oh, there we go. What is the name of this album? It's Dedication to Flesh. It's their latest release.
That's the one with
it
the
came
red
out-
skull, right, on it?
Yeah, it just came out this year. And Lord of the Upside Down is just like a really great track. It's the first track on the album. And I'm a sucker for drums because it's what I play.
Yeah.
And I just, when you've played it, even a little bit of it, you get an understanding for. You ever listen to someone play piano and go, "That's hard. What they're doing right now, that's difficult, and they're nailing it."
I also did play drums for 5 years.
So you can listen to something and be like, "That's good."
Well, what's always funny, my favorite thing is when my dad will be like, "Oh, son, isn't this really hard?" I'm like, "Dad, that's basic 4/4 with a little hesitation beat. It's the simplest thing." But when you hear like a really intricate, like, they'll do something crazy on the hi-hat, but you don't notice it. But like me, when I think back, I'm like, I could never fucking do that.
Did
There's
I
no
play
way.
you this song last time
Yes,
you
you
were
did.
here? Yeah,
Those
literally.
kicks are nuts.
Yeah.
Sounds like he has a quadruple kick pedal. It's crazy.
I mean, so that's one of the main reasons. Like, I loved metal even like back in like the Chowder days. That's why like there's so many references to like Chowder like liking metal in the shows because I just liked metal as a kid. Like Chowder being the
Really?
goth
Those
kid and the
references?
fucking. Okay, so there's not a lot, but there's three main ones I can think of, and that is
Yeah.
first of all the entire episode of the Fire Breathers is about heavy metal dragons that Chowder goes to live with. And then whenever he turns into a big scary monster in the like sleep eating episode, he's like headbanging to music. And then also in the fourth wall episode where we run out of animation, when they're all in the mall buying stuff and they all get their makeovers, Chowder's a little goth kid.
Wow.
I
Cause
can't tell you how much I love that.
because even while recording Chowder, I was like into metal at that age. So it's like,
That
and
is
one
so
of the
funny.
reasons I think I love metal so much is because it is just, I mean, there's some that isn't, but for the most part, metal is just impressive. Like, it's just a difficult type of music to fucking play. And so I don't know why, but I just really enjoy that part of it. So
There are some genres where if you do it just right, you make really good music. It's a good project. But there are others that if you do it right, it's art.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing
Oh,
what
yeah.
people are able to do, and I think metal is one of those where if you do metal right, that's it. It is just an exhibition of raw talent
Yeah,
and
Oh, yeah.
hard-earned skill.
absolutely. It's nothing. It's something I've never been able to get into. I don't know why.
That's fine.
However, the talent that it requires and the skill that it requires surpasses most genres, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot
I
of
agree.
genres of music that you need skill. You obviously need to be able to play an instrument and be able to do whatever. But like the amount of vocal technique and fine like tuning of what your voice can do and like pushing it to its limit is crazy impressive to not absolutely demolish your vocal cords in doing so.
Word up.
Like just that alone. And then that's not even to mention all of the things you have to do on the instrument. It's just, on the instruments. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
One of my favorite genres is technical death metal, and like what they fucking do on the guitars and like a lot of technical death metal is just like you're like, how do the human fingers move that fast though? Like I don't get this. That makes no sense.
It's crazy.
Stringed instruments are my bane. Anything over 4 strings, and I'm out.
Me too.
I can hit a ukulele, and I can hit a baritone ukulele pretty good. I've been doing that since I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of fun with those instruments. Guitar, you give me a guitar, I'm useless. I've tried. Yeah. I've tried my best.
Me too.
My best days, I've picked up a guitar. I can play the bottom 4 strings because they are the same tuning as a baritone ukulele.
There you go. So, our producer is saying...
Is she? Where is she saying it?
She is saying it to me.
Oh, okay, great, cool. So we're picking favorites now, huh?
Real quick.
He's checking his phone the whole stream because we've been talking.
We're talking.
I've had my phone. I'm checking my stream.
So we have one more question, and then
Jackbox.
Are we cool to move on to Jackbox?
Sure. I am.
Okay, absolutely.
Awesome. So this is from Ramen. Does Nick have any funny moments or stories with Ramen or Ghosty? I assume that there is, and this is a good setup.
Wait. Did Ramen ask if I have any funny stories that involve him?
Yep.
What?
I think we might have gotten that. I think that might have been the question.
Well, I have had many a good times hanging out with the Vibes crew. I'm typically in their Discord all the time, chatting with them, talking with them, and we have many a late nights of talking about all sorts of manners of weird shit, which is great because that's great and wonderful, and have a lot of what I classify as a good deep late night like night talk where you're just like where it all comes out, everything is great. And then of course Ghosty, me and her go on adventures all the bloody time. Freaking we did a awesome Halloween horror event. We got another one coming up in Christmas because we both love like horror movies and shit. So we got like a Christmas horror event coming up, which actually for my costume, because she also kind of sort of got me into cosplay a bit. While we've been having this live stream, my costume is complete except for my axe that got canceled during the live stream. And so I have been, while talking to you and maintaining a fantastic
composure,
sort of composure, I've been frantically trying to find a replacement that will get here before the event happens, and I think I got it sorted.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I love those guys, and I love hanging out with them, and I fucking love hanging out with Ghosty all the time and shit, and it is great. Me and Ghosty did we went to the mall, and then we did a double feature at this movie theater that we both love, which was the first time either of us had done a double feature. But also, while I was at that mall, I got recognized.
Really?
No way.
So somebody I was walking through because I had just gotten there, and so I was walking to the food court, which is where me and Ghosty were meeting up, and I hear Nick, and I turn around, and it's such a weird thing because when you hear someone calling your name and you turn around, you're expecting to see somebody that you recognize.
Yeah.
You're expecting to see an old friend or something, and then my brain was just like, what? Who is this? Like, I don't recognize this person. And then he goes, Nick, Slayer of Nar. And I go, oh, then it all clicked. And he goes, it was him and his girlfriend. And they were super, super cool. And we took a picture, and they were like, yeah, we actually saw you like a little bit a while back, but I wasn't 100% sure it was you. But then then I knew it was you or whatever. And it was great. And
that's so cool.
We took pictures and everything. And he was a really cool dude. It was awesome.
That is really cool.
I'm about to be heartbroken.
Okay.
So we've been speaking to some wonderful guests today,
Absolutely.
and charging these in between use. I just got an auditory signal
About to die.
that it is very close to death.
Oh,
Have you? I don't think you've gotten it yet.
I did get it.
You did get
I
it?
didn't know what it was, but now that you're saying that, I definitely did.
That's
get
what that means.
it. Okay, that was a minute ago.
Yeah,
That's
it'll
quite a
do it a
while.
couple times.
Okay.
It'll do it like 5 times before it cuts out.
Okay.
That is our only way of hearing you. So I, unfortunately, wanna have to say that. I mean, yes, join us for Jackbox,
Yeah.
but we might not be able to like talk while doing that.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah.
What I'm absolutely willing and wanting to do actually is make sure that you're not in the audience, making sure that you're actually part of the like playing games. So
Yes.
I can send you the like room code before we reveal it to the stream to make sure that you're in there with us and that we can all play together.
Okay.
And we'll make that happen. But the earpieces that we're using to hear you are just about dead, and I don't think they charge fast enough, which cuts it way shorter than I wanted to.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
But
That's all good. It's all good.
we'll have him back on the show.
Yes, you're gonna be on the show for a proper episode, and that's gonna be a banger. That'll be a blast.
There you go.
And
Absolutely cool with that.
I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much. It's been awesome.
Do we want to go ahead
Absolutely.
and you know what? I'll give people like 5 more minutes. I'll give people 5 more minutes if you want to do any last minute donations to for the storyboard. And before we proper say goodbye, we'll go ahead and do that. So do you want to go ahead and Google a
I sure do. Yep. Listen, even like a $1 donation count.
Yeah, a $1
Yep.
donation gets you 1 entry. So
Yeah. Just want
any
one entry.
amount will and I think $1 is the minimum thing you can donate.
Yeah.
So literally any donation of any size will get you a possibility of getting this, the paper.
I believe at this moment in time. Never mind.
Okay.
Because I forgot Seth donated. I was like, at this moment in time, all donators for the storyboard are members of my family.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, because it's Adrian, my dad, but I forgot Seth.
We can here's the thing. We can include Ramen and Ghosty, but should their names actually like come up, we'll weigh that.
If they're no. If their names come up, I'm vetoing that. I'm vetoing
Okay.
the family.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I believe that's Adrian at 5, Seth at 5.
If Ghosty wants
Jason
another one,
at
can come over to my
87?
home and freaking steal one.
Now to be fair, when in 2018, I did a live stream for charity,
Yep.
and there was a contest
Sure was.
for a gift card,
Damn right.
and it was done very much the same way.
Yep.
In terms of, you give this amount, it's an entry. Now I remember that Seth's dad, Michael, donated a lot.
Yep.
And you donated the minimum entry.
One entry.
You did win.
I won the gift card, baby.
So Jason...
Still have
Mike-
yet to receive it. Still yet to receive it. Almost 5 years later.
We don't need to be talking about that. We don't need to talk about that bit.
Where's my gift card, man?
You know what? How much was it? Like $25?
25. It was $400.
It was not that.
No,
I
I'm
can tell you
joking.
that.
It was 200.
We only raised $200 for charity. We only meant to raise $100, and people were just very generous.
It was 25.
So it was $25?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you not give
I'll
me
make a
20?
$25 donation to World Central Kitchen in your name.
Absolutely not. I would like the gift card.
He said, I'm so happy that we've raised well over $1,000 for this charity. Where's my $25?
I already raised money for that charity, and that owes me. You owe me a gift card for that. So.
Are we how are we doing this?
I'm ready as.
You're ready?
So we're gonna wrap
Wait,
it up now?
you've already got everything ready to go?
As soon as you're ready to say no more donations from this point forward.
Okay.
No more. We're done. You
I
can't donate.
gave my little 5-minute warning a little bit ago. You know what? I'll give it like 2 more minutes.
2 minutes left for the donation for the storyboard. You get it signed, right? It's signed storyboard. Signed by Nick Jones.
And like, obviously once it's all said and done, you can specify which, like, again, if I have it, episode and like which scene you want from it, because I have them all somewhat sorted, and I can just look through them and stuff. So
I like that Joey in chat said metal became the D&D genre for some reason.
Interesting.
Like power metal, yeah.
Yeah. Why is the Joey said why is the donation total at an even number instead of 69? And that was Seth. Seth actually was the one that rounded that to.
Oh. That's great.
I'll have you know, Nick, we just got a $1 donation from Ramen.
Oh my god! This man. You already have one, Ramen. Save one for the rest of the people.
I'm going to say go ahead. I'm going to say we're ready. I know that Anna's not ready. You're fine. Go ahead.
I'm making a donation right now.
You're good. As soon as Anna's ready, we will do that. And then I'm going to move this really quick. Hopefully not into frame. There we go.
Okay, I'm in.
There we go.
We're good.
Anna jumped in with $1 last minute, and you are ready to go ahead
I sure am.
and make it happen.
Okay. So that you all see that I'm not.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
We have 122 entries. The winning entry is 27. That makes it.
It makes it Seth?
Let's go!
Seth Gilstrap, Mr. Profile Picture of ripped Chowder for like, what, 5+
that's awesome.
years?
He sure deserves it.
Oh,
One
okay,
any
it
other
has
way.
to be from the Fire Breathers episode.
Yep, it sure
It
does.
does.
It does. If you have that, if you happen to have it, Nick, we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
I
But
got it.
That's
Oh, they can
insane.
hear me, I don't think.
Who can't? I can still hear you.
Okay, you can still be yeah. So I have that episode because so I got it and I will look for that I will look for his profile picture.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, he would change. You know what? He said it. That profile picture stays forever. I bet you money he would change it to the storyboard for
Storyboard version? Absolutely.
Seth in chat said, first off, in all caps, it was "Let's go" with like 15 O's,
Great.
and then followed up with "crying and shitting right now."
Crying and shitting right now. Love it.
Love it. Congratulations. I'm incredibly happy for you. Seth said, "Sorry, JJ." Which is
I don't think he knew that he was.
now. I don't think he originally knew, but he did follow up later, to say that the storyboard is mine, Rada Rada. When we were talking about it.
Oh, Dad.
No,
I know it's JJ.
we're all good.
No, it's all fine.
Ramen says I was robbed.
Ramen, you know exactly how you can get another storyboard panel. Buy something from my eBay page, Ramen. I'll get you one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I will say that to everyone else, everyone that did not get anything. It's absolutely all right. Hey, this man has an eBay page, and if you make a purchase there, it's the same deal. Not only do you get the thing you paid for, you get a storyboard as well.
Andy?
And there's a lot of cool stuff over there. I still want to buy one of the Sonic figurines for our set.
Ooh, yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, one of our studio set.
It will hurt you. You just.
So, there we go. Nick, one last time, I want to thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and move to Jackbox. Like I said, I will send the room code to you slightly before we put it on stream for everyone else to join. Everyone, we're going to be playing Jackbox in just a brief moment. We're going to roll the World Central Kitchen video.
We're gonna bring a plate of food to as many people as we can, as quick as we can. And this is a very simple idea that can never happen.
Okay, it's fine. Don't worry.
Why is it in full screen?
Because we're not in studio mode right now.
Bro, I didn't do it. You do it.
So, first off, we're going to go to studio mode. We're going to get Chowder back. There we go. Hold on. Wait. There we go. Here he is. There we go. Now we're ready. Now it's business as usual, Anna, for the
Okay.
transition.
You're gonna let him know?
So I'll say, thank you to Nick. I can't.
Well, as we can, as quick as we can. And this is a very simple idea.
Anna,
Really quick.
So we're firing our producer. First thing.
we do need a new one.
You sure do. You sure do.
But I want to say one last time, Thank you, Nick. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're a legend, man.
It was a
Can't wait
blast,
for our
guys. It
actual
really
episode
was.
together. And let's play some Jackbox.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
Alrighty.
Goodbye.
You're awesome. We appreciate you a lot.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Oh, thank you guys.
Bye.
Thank you, of course.
Hey everyone, just wanted to give a special shout out and thank you to Jamie, Jess, Kat, Sky, Jessica, and Brian, our top patrons this week. And we just want to say, y'all really don't know how much we appreciate all that you do. Thank you so much.